Three, two, one. Let's go. Today is December 4th, 2025. It is also the birthday of my son. So happy birthday there, Trey. And this is the CTL.
Hey,
Yeah, happy birthday,
yeah,
Trey, man. It's CTL crossing the lines, the Trey birthday edition. Mr. 41, the calculator in the house. And guess what, calculator? It is championship week for college football. And we're going to have some picks. That's my understanding. That
yeah,
we're going to have some
yeah.
friendly wagers that's dealing with that.
Greetings and salutation. The last official. We're not saying the last for the year. It's pretty much our last edition. We're going to hopefully go out on a well. If we would have won it, if we would have stopped it on the last one, we'd have went out on a winning note. So let's hope this can be a winning week as well. But don't despair, people. For all you soccer fans out there, we will have a World Cup edition as it gets closer. And the reason I want to bring that up is for the diehard World Cup people out there that love this. The draw for the World Cup is tomorrow at 11:30. Shaquille O'Neal is going to be one of the guest drawers. We got some other guys showing up that's going to be there. Aaron Judge, I heard, is going to be there as well. So they got a lot of big guys going in because the World Cup, if you hadn't heard, it's going to be in the U.S., Mexico, and Canada the next year. So, but don't worry, hey. And Mr. 41, we got you covered here on the CTL because if you're a diehard and you listened to us last year, I don't like to brag or bring attention to myself, but even we came on the air, and even after Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia, and you can go and check the archives if you don't believe me. I'm not making it up. We picked Argentina to win even after they lost to Saudi Arabia. 4-1-1 and myself, I was not deterred. I actually said that Saudi Arabia loss was good for Argentina because one of the things that surprised is because it forced them to make what I thought was the necessary changes. And you know that, but hey, we do our homework here on this podcast. So yeah, definitely like, subscribe, but you got to do the notification because if you want to know when that World Cup review comes, you got to have that notification button pushed, Mr. 411.
Absolutely. Can't wait for that, man. That's exciting, man. And, that's a huge sport. And we're here, man. We covering it all, baby. That's what we do.
That's right. That's right.
Oh,
That's right.
but man, we got the championship games coming up in the college football landscape. Some big games across the country. So we got to get into it, calculator, for the people who have those friendly wagers. What we gonna go with first? I heard
Oh,
we have three games going on
oh, hey,
a particular night.
yeah, 3 games on the Friday night special. But we could set 5 of these games that we'll be reviewing. They're actually rematches. So a championship week can also be renamed rematch week. Because there's a lot of rematches. And the first one we're going to go over, as you can see, Jacksonville, Kennesaw State. Now listen, these two mixed up, and if you remember. And just, you can fact check me if you don't believe me. This was an algorithm pick when they first met.
That's right.
Dr. Sachs came on and gave me some good information. He said Jacksonville State will beat Kennesaw State, even though Kennesaw State was on a roll. They were rolling people. They were doing it. And they said, and as Jacksonville State won 35-26. I just have something is, and it's the same exact scenario. It is at Jacksonville State. Dr. Sachs again says, "Hey, Jacksonville State, you might go." I'm not. For me, I don't want to have to worry about it. So I guess you could say I'm a coward and I'm going to take the easy way out. And what I mean by that is I think both teams are going to score. And for that is Kennesaw State is one of the fastest paced teams in college football. They run more plays, get more expected points per play, expected explosive plays per per 20 snaps. It's just crazy. All the metrics lying to Kennesaw State's going to keep the metal to the pedal. And the thing is, if they get a turnover, hey, that's great because that's just going to mean Jacksonville State should be able to score, which would make Kennesaw State play even faster and catch up. And it's only 16.5. The final score the last time they played was 35-26. I think it's going to be even higher this time because, folks, Jacksonville State has not scored under 34 points all year. So, hey, give them 34 points. I think Kennesaw State will run enough plays to get them over the 30-point edge. So I'm not going to worry about the game total because I don't want some weird thing where Kennesaw State gets this late field goal to win a close game. Hey, take it over 60.5. And if teams score or if they turn the ball over, feel thankful because anytime turnovers happen, usually scores happen relatively fast after that. But yeah, I love it. Hey, and not only that, you want to talk about Kennesaw State on their scoring offense? Hey, just the last two games, 48 points last week. 41 points the 2 weeks before that, where they were playing, and they weren't playing your UTEPs or New Mexico State. The last two games was against Liberty and Missouri State, two teams that were two of the better teams in their conference. Jacksonville State is a better team than both those, but I don't think Jacksonville State's defense is going to be able to keep Kennesaw State from the 30-point. I do think Jacksonville State's going to win. I just feel more confident going for the over rather than the straight-up victory.
All right, take the over on that one. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun game. Hey man, we're gonna repeat this a lot, along with this slate of games about them being fun games. Championship week is set up perfect. I love a lot of matchups,
Mm.
and that leads me right into the next matchup that I actually love too. And it's a good story there with North Texas State being in. I mean, North Texas being in the mix. That's the old school that
Yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin uh, played football at back in the day in North
Hey,
Texas.
hey,
So
I don't remember them being quite as popular on the college football landscape at that time, but very very good nugget there, Mister 411.
yeah, all right. So the bottom line calculator, as Stone Cold would say, what's
That's
the
right.
bottom line on this matchup with Tulane?
Bottom line is, if North Texas wins, they're going to be in the playoff as one of those that group of five scenario. And you want to talk about a team on a roll? North Texas, 54. 31, 53, 56, 52. Those are their last 5 games. And I mean, they have just been rolling people. Ha ha. But one thing is, they hadn't really played that top slow down type team, the team that can play defense. They're really big opponent for the year with South Florida, and if people remember, they got rolled because we actually had North Texas over South Florida that week when we did CTL, and it came back to bite us. But that one just sticks in my head because it's just Tulane. Tulane only has 2 losses this week. You take that fluke UTSA loss, their only other loss is to Ole Miss. But yeah, they play a brand of football where they can slow the game down, and I think that is what's going to come back to bite North Texas. And also North Texas is going to be upheaval with their coach moving on and stuff like that. So there's a lot of dysfunction going on with that team because they were part of all this coaching situation. And I think Tulane being at home, I think that is what will give them the edge because I think these teams are evenly matched. And when I looked at all the underlying metrics in this, and when you match ups and like opponents, it has it as a coin flip. So when I have 2 teams at a coin flip, I'm going to take the team with home field advantage and the team with the points. So I'm getting like the double helping of things that make me feel good. Yes, I don't like not having that full 3 because there is a possibility that it's tied and North Texas can kick a field goal at the end. But I just think Tulane's actually going to win the game. It's 2.5 right now. So hey, if you're feeling a little frisky or if you're not feeling good, take the 2.5. But I really like Tulane on the money line, and then you don't have to worry about paying any extra big if you take them on the money line.
That's right. Okay, it's gonna be a fun game, man. Can't wait. All right. Hey, this next matchup, it's 2 familiar foes, Boise State and UNLV. And so what do we have here for this one? This should be a good one too.
Yeah, man, let me tell you something. You want to talk about a team that has owned a team? Every time Boise State has played UNLV, Boise State has won. And this is the 3rd year in a row they're going to meet in the championship game. And listen, it took Boise State every mathematical, they could get to have the computers help them. Believe it or not, them losing to South Florida, it helped them in the computer ratings because of all the wins South Florida won after, even though they lost. That's why Boise State scheduled all these tough teams. They said they don't care if lost because computers are they take stuff out of the equation when it comes to their vote. They're going to say they take strength of schedule serious. So they, even though there was like a 4-way tie for first place, Boise
Yeah.
State had the math, the computer helped Boise State get into that championship game. And hey, and again, we'll talk about rematch. These two teams played on October 18th, right? And Boise State blew the doors off of UNLV 56-31. And folks, 56-31, the game wasn't even as close as that score lets you know. But you could say, calculator. When these teams met first time, Boise State was 11-point favorite. Now Boise State's 4.5. Isn't that smelly line territory? And I say, well, kind of, but I can see where the 4.5 comes and the point move. It's because the start quarterback for Boise State got hurt in that Nevada game right after the UNLV game, and they only scored a touchdown the next 2 games. But he's come back to life as he's gotten 25, 24 in their last win, scored 49 against Colorado State. But folks, Matson's back. I hear Matson's going to be back for this, and that's going to be huge for Boise State. So I'm going to take a team that has dominated another team. And yes, I know UNLV, they look good against Nevada, only allowing 17 points, 10 against Hawaii, 26 in that double overtime victory against Utah. And 10 again. Their last 4 games, their defense has come to earth, but they hadn't faced another physical running team like Boise State. Boise State's going to bring the brand of football that UNLV just is not accustomed to, and frankly doesn't look like they like. And I think Matson will do enough. He'll be healthy enough to keep them on the field, to limit the turnovers, and to get enough offense to cover the 4.5. This has 27-20 written all over, so you can actually go under as well, because a lot of the people are picking over. The over's like 54.5 right now. It actually jumped up from 51. All the people started pounding the over. I actually think it's going to be an under game, because I have this like a 27-20 game. And Boise State wins, because I think UNLV, I think it's not even going to be 27. It might be like 27-13, and then UNLV gets that late touchdown, but I don't think it'll be close enough to cover the 4.5. So Boise State wins, and they win by margin.
Okay. All right. Take the old faithful there, Boise State. All right. Hey, another matchup: Texas Tech, BYU.
Hey, go,
And hey, I'm hearing that
that's right.
BYU's coach is talented too. I mean, it's some rumors that the BYU coach might take another job down the line. He's been one of
No,
those hot
yeah,
candidates.
but
So
he already Penn State offered him the job, and you know what?
yeah.
The CEO of that cookie company in Utah said, "Blank check. You write what you want for your salary." And you know what was so funny? This is no joke. The Penn State former coach Franklin went to a press conference eating that cookie at the press
Wow.
conference, saying they were going to get some. He flipped some of the Penn State recruits to go to Virginia Tech where he's coaching. But that is so classic troll. When he came in with that cookie company, eating the cookie from the CEO, Cookie Crumbler, I think is the name of the cookie company that the CEO said, write your check. And Sakati said, but yeah, you can't make that stuff up. You got to love James Franklin trolling Penn State, because Penn State's in chaos, right? Especially, but it was great because they see the Sakati, the coach for BYU, he's BYU through and through.
Yeah.
I think they could have just matched whatever Penn State would have offered, and he would have stayed. But they basically said write the check, so he's set for life in a place, and the people in Provo love him. He's
Yeah.
a hometown guy, and they just love him, and they treat him. And hey, like I said, he wrote. The CEO says write your check. We'll pay whatever you want to stay in town. But yeah, that was great, and I think that's going to motivate BYU. The only problem is Texas Tech is just so dang good, and if you remember, Texas Tech throttled BYU. Just another rematch. 29-7. And folks, if you watch that game, they kicked, I think it was 7 field goals in that game. You turn any of those field goals into touchdowns, this is a 30-point game. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's 12 and a half. Anything under that 14 number, I just don't see how BYU can score against that. Texas Tech has 4 legit guys on defense that are going to play in the NFL. And that linebacker that they were talking about, Heisman Rodriguez, did you the one that's married to the Army Ranger that goes to his game that flies helicopters? But yeah, that dude, did you know he was a quarterback just a couple years ago at Virginia? And he said,
Wow.
yeah, I know. And he says, hey, I'm not making anywhere a quarterback. Texas Tech said, hey, you moved and he actually went to Texas Tech as a walk on. And then he proved himself that they didn't need a quarterback at the time. So they said, hey, you're a great athlete. Try, and he's never looked back. And now they paid him a bunch of money, so he went going to transfer portal, and now he's a Heisman hopeful, a defensive player that's a Heisman hopeful. You very rarely see that. More forced fumbles for any team in college football, and then they have another defensive lineman, a defensive end that leads the country in sacks, and then they have a nose guard with most tackles for losses. So these guys are legit, and BYU, their freshman quarterback, he seems like he got better after the Texas game. We have 44 against TCU, 26 against Cincinnati, 4-1 Central Florida. But folks, none of those has the near caliber defense to Texas Tech. I don't know how BYU scores double digits. And you know Texas Tech's going to score some of those field goals that they got are going to be turned into touchdowns. I just think it's not going to. Hey, BYU might keep it close because they, like I said, they got their coach back, but Texas Tech really don't have. Well, I say Texas Tech wants that first round bye. Texas Tech wins, they got a first round bye. Texas Tech lose, they might have to go on the road in the first round. They don't want that. So yeah, Texas Tech does have some motivation. BYU, if they win, they're in. If they out, they're
Yep.
out. So there's a lot of motivation, but it's motivation on both sides. So I'm just going to go strictly with the much better team on offense, a much better team on defense, and just a team that right now Texas Tech is a legit shot. All those the Big Ten teams and folks, the SEC. If Texas Tech, I'm telling you that I would love to see a Texas Tech Oklahoma matchup because you would see 2 elite defenses just knocking the snot out of each other to see who wins that. But that's later on the season. We're talking about this game. Take Texas Tech minus point. Oh yeah, all they are is 10-1 against the spread this year. So not only are they beating people by margin, it's like Vegas has trouble keeping up with Texas Tech. So yeah, Texas Tech, take Texas Tech minus 12.5 because they roll in this one again.
Yep. You gotta love it, man. You gotta love a team that can cover that spread. And so, man,
Oh
and
yeah,
you talk about money. You talk about that the owner for the guy who owns that cookie
yep,
business. You know, Texas Tech has been shelling out money left and right.
yeah,
Really, they had
yeah.
that billionaire alumnus, right?
Yeah, he 15 million on that defense alone. He said, "Here's 15 million dollars. Get what you can on your defense." So first thing they ponied up to Rodriguez, so he wouldn't transfer, and then they started getting picking guys and say, "Hey, you want a million here, a million there, a couple million here," and then they built a top 3 defense in college football. And I'm saying
Yeah.
they're on the same level as Ohio State. They are on the same level as Oklahoma. They are a legit top 3 defense. And that team, even when they struggle with that backup quarterback, that defense will always keep them in games.
All right. Okay. Well, hey, we
So
got a big one
definitely
in
look
this.
at them in the
Oh,
playoff.
yes, sir.
Oh
And
yeah,
definitely in
absolutely.
the playoff, you're gonna have the SEC represented in the playoffs. And hey, what a better way to kick it off with the SEC is to determine who's the champion is going to be. And look, it's UGA and it's Alabama. They find a way to meet each other,
And,
man, one way or another.
and you can say, and you see what my pick is. You can say calculator. Since 2008, they played 12 times, and Bama has won 11 of them. You're right. I agree. But something is talking to me. 411. I don't know what it is. That domination that Georgia showed against Texas, the domination they showed against Mississippi. I'm not worried. Georgia Tech, they didn't need to win it. Or they didn't need to show they were vanilla. They just shut everything down. They didn't want to show their hand because they knew they might have. They knew after that Texas A&M loss that they were going to have to play. So Kirby said, "Shut it down. We're just going to get out with a win and not take any chances. We don't want anybody to get hurt." But and Bama, 27-20. that was a lot closer than people. If they saw the game, Auburn was in that game from the get-go. But what people don't understand is Georgia, in my opinion, has a defense on kind of like OU, and OU beat Alabama, earlier this year at Alabama, and I think Georgia's going to take a little thing out of that. But hey, if people want to remember that game that Georgia lost to Alabama earlier this year, Georgia shut them out in the second half. So Bama had to build up that big lead. And I just think Georgia will come to the table. I don't know what it is. It's just a feeling. I'm giving up under the field goal. And matter of fact, it was 1.5. It moved to 2.5 right in our production meeting. So, hey, I wanted to get it before it hit 3 because this thing could hit 3. So that's what I'm saying. Like, subscribe, notify, because by the time you get this, by the time you click the button, it might move to 3. So I want you to try and get before this hits that 3 number, because a lot of times the favorites get bet up near game time. So if you can get this at 2.5 before it hits 3, now's the time to get it, because it's moved. Alabama was actually favored when the line opened, and then all the sharps started pounding Georgia, because I guess a lot of people were thinking, recency bias. Recency bias actually favors Georgia. Georgia hadn't lost since they lost to Alabama, but Georgia has played much better. Gunnar Stockton is not the same quarterback now that he was on September 27th when they last played. So yes, I like Georgia. I like them to win. And I think it's going to be a close one because Bama can score as well. But I think Georgia will win by the field goal. And also, Georgia has the better kicker than Alabama. Bama's kicker can hit them every now and then, but ain't nobody as clutch as that Georgia kicker who can kick 50-yard bombs. Georgia's kicker is going to be kicking in the NFL as soon as he graduates. So, but yeah, I just like Georgia in this one. I like them to exercise the demons, and then I love to see how their selection committee can leave Alabama out and say, "Oh, we want to keep championship games in the mix, but we don't want to penalize people for championship." If Alabama gets out of the national playoff because they lost in an SEC championship game, I should say shame on the selection committee. But I see I just think it could be brewing, because I know you got the Notre Dame and the Miami fans watching this and hoping that they're going to be big Georgia fans too, because they want a shot for Alabama to get out. Because Alabama wins, they're in. There's no doubt about it. But if they lose, then they go to that 3-loss team. But then Alabama's going to say, well, our third loss was the SEC championship. And then Texas is going to say, well, we got 3 losses. Our third loss, we played the number 1 team in the country at their place to start the year. So there's a lot of arguments. A lot of things can go on. But if Bama don't want any arguments, they need to win. If they lose, then let the discussions begin.
It'll be fun, man. And you said that Georgia has a great kicker. And don't they have a secret weapon?
Oh, yes, from the archives. Hey, you can't get in. Hey, that girl, that lady right there, when it got pulled out in a chat message with me and some of our subscribers, this was going around, and I think they've lost one game when she was played for. So yeah, unfortunately she has graduated from Georgia, so she's no longer active. But hey, her picture will live in infamy, not only on CTL but in the chat that I have with some of our subscribers.
Okay, all right. Well, let's see what happens.
Let's see. Mr. 411. I love it.
Yeah, let's see if the old mojo keeps that streak going there for the Dogs. All right, we'll see what happens there.
Folks, but hey. That's right. It worked for us last year. Remember, we brought it out in that Texas when everybody thought Texas was going to beat Georgia last year. And we said, nope, not when the picture's shown, my friend. Doesn't happen.
That's it. All right, we'll see what happens. Okay, we got a couple more matchups here, Calculator. A couple more championship games.
And that's right. Another one is another rematch from just 2-3 weeks ago. Duke, Virginia. Hey, and all I can say is last time they played, Virginia beat Duke at Duke 34-17. And now this thing's only 4. Yeah, I know it's a neutral field, but like I said, they beat them soundly at their place last time. So I'm not going to make, you can say, oh, calculator, this is a smelly line. Well, yeah, you can say it's a smelly line, but when you have a team like Duke that has a margin of 2 to 3 turnovers per game, and you're going against a Tony Elliott led team that has hardly no turnovers, Virginia is the perfect, you can compare them to Iceman in Top Gun. They play, what they do, and they wait for the other team to make mistakes. And all they're doing is playing a team that makes mistakes on an average rate. Now, yeah, you can't compare, but hey, if you can get some plus money on a team turning the ball 2 or more times over, I'm taking it because that's what Duke does. Hey, I love Duke's transfer quarterback for Tulane Mensa. Love his athletic ability, but Virginia showed that they can beat them, and it was recently. So I think Virginia wins. And I mean, I actually have this number at 8. So if I can get it at -4, I'm taking it all day long.
Okay. All right, let's do that. And hey, man, here's a big one. A big one in the Big Ten, man. Indiana, Ohio State. Can Indiana prove themselves in this one?
Oh,
We already know that over the last couple of seasons, these last 2 seasons now, they've made themselves a true contender. But until you beat the big boys, that's when we know you break fully through. Can they do it, calculator?
well, let me tell you something. Go back to Singetti's press conference when he came in. He introduced himself. I'm Frank Singetti. And people said, hey, what kind of coaching record you have? He said, and I quote, I win. Google me. That's
Yeah.
all. That's how he introduced him to the Indiana faithful. And folks, does that Joker win? I think so. And hey, I'm going to give credit to 411 because hey, I'm going to give credit to us because we got on them last year. They were cashing tickets last year, and they were doing the same thing this year. Folks, they've had one close game that was at Penn State, but they still have that Heisman Trophy favorite Mendoza on their sideline. Ohio State has not been tested. I will say it before. I've said it, and we've been taking Ohio State to cover by margin because they've been playing the bottom dwellers of everybody. And hey, their closest game was against Texas in the first game of the season when Arch Manning was breaking in 4 new offensive linemen, and they were outgained in that game. The only thing they didn't lose in that game was on the scoreboard. Folks, Ohio State hadn't been tested, and folks, Ohio State's going to say, "Oh man, we got a first round bye." We won the national championship. We beat Michigan. What do they really got to play for? They might just say, hey, we're just going to play vanilla and keep everybody healthy and go home with our stacked team and just roll everybody in the playoffs. Indiana wants to win. Indiana never, I can't tell you. I mean, I should have done my research, but it's been a while since Indiana won anything in the Big Ten. And I just think the motivation is going to be there. And folks, I got it over the key number of 3. So even if it's a close game, even if Ohio State sleepwalk and they kick that field goal at the end to win the game, I got 4 points in this one. So I'm getting a motivated team that wants to prove something in a controlled environment. Ohio State's not going to have that cold weather or anything else to slow down Indiana and that Mendoza quarterback. He wins the Heisman, he wins the Big Ten, and they cover by 4. Take Indiana, and folks, take them on the money line too, and you get a little extra juice.
All right. There you go, calculator. I like where you're bringing the heat on that one. Okay. All right. That's going to be a big one. That's going to be the talk of the college football landscape, man, right there if Indiana breaks through on this one.
And I know it's not on the sheet, but we can't leave without the 3 things that 411 believes in. You tell me the 3 things you believe in, Mr. 411, and I'm going to give you some information.
Oh, man. Shall I? All right, here we go. Mr. 401, number 1, believe in the man upstairs,
Yes,
calculator.
sir.
Without the man upstairs, none of this is possible. He made things happen for us. He made us cross paths back in the day, and look at where we are now. Providing friendly wages for one and all.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
right.
definitely the man upstairs. All right. Number 2, with each man, we're deep into the season now with
I got I got
BTN.
I got ornaments outside, Mr. 411.
Come on, man. Calculate. We're deep into the season, man.
Yeah.
I see trees up.
Yep. Yep.
The ornaments up at your crib. They're eventually gonna be up here in my crib. I got some things lined up here, and it's gonna start looking and feeling more like Christmas around here. But hey, man, Old Saint Nick, 21 days away. All right, that's it. Less than a month. Mr. 401 believes in Old Saint Nick. Mr. 401 is gonna be nice so that he gets the things that he wants on his list from Old Saint Nick. So number 2, Mr. 411 believes in Old Saint Nick calculator.
Yes, sir.
All right. Last but not least, come on, man. He's an integral part of our show. Uh, I don't know how you find this guy, but we're all thankful for it. And that is Dr. Sachs, right? It's Dr.
Yes,
Sacks and the
sir.
algorithm. So tell us how the algorithm is
Yes.
going to tie into the show for tonight, Calculator.
So hey, he said he gave me two picks. So I'm going to give the two picks. And one of the picks, and we didn't put it on the show, is because he likes the Tulane game as well. Well, I'm sorry, Dr. Sachs don't like it. His algorithm likes the Tulane game, but the algorithm spit up. Hey, take the Jacksonville State. And it started out at -1.5. That thing's jumped all the way up to Kennesaw. So Jacksonville State is actually getting 2.5 as of this production meeting. So you're getting the better team, and you're getting points, and you're getting a team on their home field. We talk about Tulane. Flip coin, I'm taking home field better team. Jacksonville State, I'm getting points, better team, home field. So, but hey, don't take my word for it. Take the algorithm's word for it. And folks, algorithm, I think, if I'm not mistaken, people can fact check this. It's like 7 in a row. So, if you don't believe Dr. Sachs, he's got the record or his algorithm has the record to back it up. So he said, hey, take all the stuff away. Just look at the number and go with it. Jacksonville State. So you know what I'm going to do, Mr. 41? I'm going to do a little money line parlay, and I'm going to take the two underdogs money line parlay. Probably get 5-1 on the Jacksonville State Tulane. Both of them win. Not because I said so, not because you said so. It's because the algorithm said so.
Absolutely, because we believe in the algorithm, we believe in Dr. Sachs, and we appreciate that guy. And again, calculator, however you
Yeah.
find him, hey man, I mean, your secret is safer. I mean, it's safer than the Coca-Cola, the secret of Coca-Cola, man.
That's right. That's right. That's why you don't see Dr. Sachs very often, because the more you see him, the more you can try and get out of what goes in to make up that algorithm. So he keeps it close. But hey, why wouldn't you? You got some proprietary information on your side. You kind of want to keep that under wraps. I
That's
told Dr.
right.
Sachs, go to the patent office, see if you can patent that thing.
Absolutely. The algorithm. All right. We definitely appreciate that. Championship week, man. Wow. Great games this
Yeah.
weekend. So be ready for it. College football is, man, it comes and goes. But hey, man, it's right in the thick of things right now this week. So you want to do that because it's going to set the table for a lot of conversation that's going to carry us through the
Yep.
next month of college football. So yes, calculator. Another one in the books. Anything you want to say
Yes,
in
sir.
closing?
Closing, just hey, it's been a pleasure sharing the information with the people. Hey, again, you'll see yours truly. We're still on Tuesdays because the NFL's still going on. So me
That's
and
right.
LT, we're at your disposal. Me and 41 are trying to duke it out with LT on the mini draft of that. So if you still want some more, the calculator will be there. And before you know it, hey, once the season's over with, then the calculator will be digging into the NFL draft. So we'll do I'm sure we'll do our annual broadcast on that. And then again, I just want to plug the World Cup. Yeah, next summer in our backyard. I'm a big United States men's national team fan.
That's right.
I love watching some soccer. My daughter was a star soccer player in college, so that I couldn't help but get into soccer when you have somebody that excels at it as she did all through her life. So yeah, I'm really excited about the World Cup. And again, whatever information I get, I'm going to pass the people and let them do. And if you tuned with us last World Cup, we gave you Argentina. They won it all. And again, we are going to dig deep to see what we can give and then pass it out to the people.
Absolutely. All right. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share because why, calculator?
Sharing is caring, my friends.
That's right. All right. Make sure you do that. 401 Sports World Network on YouTube. 411 Sports World Network on YouTube. Mr. 411 MISTER FOURONEONE on TikTok and Instagram. Make sure you follow us so you can keep up with the calculator. CTL. And the next time you see calculator, he'll be talking fantasy football on the 401
Yep.
Sports World Fantasy Football Show, which is always great, as you mentioned earlier. All right. Well, for the calculator, I'm Mr. 401. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy that championship football weekend. And we'll catch you all real soon. Have a good one.
See ya. See ya.
All right. We out.